friends, Kim from stampingimperfection.com. Thank you for joining me today. I'm making a project today with these TLC Designs daisy frame dies, and these are pretty fantastic because there are 5 different frame pieces there, so you can make 4 frames and 5 different mat sizes. You can see the smallest or the second smallest one there, and it's got a great stitch detail around the edge. So I am just loving these Designs dies because I feel like they're jam-packed, and I've barely scraped the surface with realizing all the things I can do. The problem is that I'm enjoying playing with all of the extra little dies that come along with it. Like, I absolutely love this little daisy die. So I die cut a whole bunch of those. And I had been playing with that yesterday and colored it in, and I really liked it. I stacked a bunch together, and I stacked a bunch of those matte pieces that I made together. But I decided I'd like some bookmarks, and I kind of feel like doing a little bit of mixed media. Nothing too crazy, but something fun. And I really like the way that daisy turned out. So all I did was, I have these pre-made tags. I got them for I got it like 1,000 in a box. So I have a ton of them. So I'm going to experiment. And I'm making a mess on the back of this tag. So I already know that I'm going to have to put some pretty pattern paper on the back. So I pulled out 4 of these tags, and I'm using this like grid background stamp that I have had in my stash for quite a while, and you probably have something like this in your stash. So I actually used that. First I used black soot, but it was too dark, so I pulled out weathered wood, and I quite liked that. So here I'm using my Altenew artist markers. They come in sets of 12, and these 4 colors are in one of the sets, and this is one of my favorite yellow combinations, and I know these 2 look sort of brown, but in the end, it makes such a pretty little combination. So I just start out with a darker one. Like, these are already color coordinated, so I don't have to think about the colors. So when I don't want to think about what colors I need to put together, I use my Altenew markers. Plus, they sit right on my desk all the time, so they're really easy to pull out. So I had 4 different shades of yellow. I start with the darkest, go to the lightest. I have 3 different shades of green that I'm going to use for the little stems and leaves. Again, darkest to lightest. I go over it once. I keep the coloring just super simple. Like, I just use the colors Altenew put together, and I just kind of put one color down, then I go over that color with the second color and just try to blend. And then you have to let them sit so that they blend. Then I pulled out a set of 4 browns, so I've got the darkest one, and I'm going to do the same thing, darkest to lightest. And I apologize that for whatever reason didn't get taped, the rest of that, but I just put the 4 browns down. Now I want to do a little stenciling, and I've got this great bubbles stencil from Stamplerations, and I adore this stencil. So I'm using, actually this is brushed corduroy. I'm using Distress Oxides because that's what I have. And I just really wanted a grunge look today. My daughter gifted me the Book of the Month Club for Christmas, and she's getting it also, so we are having a book club, and I thought I would send her a bookmark. I find that I need a bookmark now that I'm getting a new book every month. So I have these pieces that I die cut with the smallest frames die, and I just used a light pink cardstock. And then I got this clock face. It was like a free clip art thing, so I printed that out. I actually printed that on craft cardstock, and then I'm just distressing it with the edge of my scissors very carefully. If you've watched my videos a while, you know I'm klutzy. So I just want to give this a little bit of a distress look. And then I had this little live in the moment ticket that I'd made a while ago, and I distressed the edges of that. I had 2 of these. They were in my cup in this green color that I felt like coordinated with this whole springy color theme. And I'm just trying to figure out how I want to put those together. Once I get what I like, I just put a couple staples in to hold them in place, and then I'm going to slather them up with glue. So I'll take my art glitter glue and just put that all over the back of each of these pieces to really hold them down. I'm going to trim off that pink piece that's hanging off the edge there, and then I'll add my little daisy or sunflower. I guess I colored it like a sunflower, but technically it is a daisy. It is called the daisy frame die. I just happen to want to make yellow ones today. I don't know why. So I added that daisy to my little pink mat there, and I decided I wanted to put a bunch of splatters. So I'm just pulling out some black ink and some white gouache, and I really spritzed them up with water, and these dots came out bigger than I wanted them to, but that's okay. You know, it is what it is. I'll blot up a couple of the biggest ones, and I'll end up happy with it in the end. So I'm adding some white and black splatters, and now I'm going to just blot up a couple of those big dies. You can see my craft table just gets messier and messier. It just sort of caves in on me. I didn't want any of the blacks and white splatters on the center of that die. I added some white gel pen, so I already had white there, white dots there. And I really want these to look grungy. So I need to add something to the back. So I printed off one of TLC Designs pattern papers. This is from the Snow Family paper set. It's Snow Family Fun digital papers, and you get a whole bunch of digital papers. They print out 6x6. You can of course adjust that, and I'm just cutting them down to the size of my tag, which is about 2.5 by 4 3/4. So I'm just going to attach those to the back of my tags, and I'm just using a tape runner on there, and I'll cut them down. And I decided that one of the other things I want to do, since I'm doing mixed media, I can pull out anything that I want. Earlier today I did a project where I did a gold embossing powder edge on my cards, and I loved the way it looked. So that was in my head already. I decided that I'm going to go ahead and do that to the edge of these. I just thought that was really fun, and since I'm layering a piece of paper on the back, I thought it would be kind of a nice way to seal those two together so they don't actually peel apart. So I'm just trimming this down, and then I'll pull out my Versamark ink. Whatever embossing ink you have is fine. Versamark is my favorite. I've tried a few other ones, and I just haven't found anything I like as much as Versamark. So I'm pulling out some rose gold embossing powder, and I'm just inking up the edges all around this card, or this tag, or bookmark, and I'm just tapping it into that gold embossing powder, and then I'll heat set it, and I'll do that to both of those. And then my last touch is just to add some twine, and I'm just going to fray the twine, and then I'll trim it down, and my project will be completed. So that frayed twine finishes off my project. Thank you so much for watching. Please give this video a thumbs up, and if you aren't subscribed to my channel, I would love it if you subscribe and click that bell so you get notifications every time I upload a new video. There's a digital paper on the back, and I will put all the links to the TLC products below. Thanks for watching.